Hi, this is Owen Rubel coming to you again to talk to you about game development in HTML5 using the Akihabara framework. In my last series of videos, I've been showing you pathing using the A-star algorithm. This is something that has been introduced to me by the good people over at Boston Game Jams. In my last video, I showed how I made enemies have a default state to wander within a certain radius of their spawn point, and to also give chase if I come within a certain distance of them. And this basically creates an aggro state. But the one thing that I wanted to show in this one is that I wanted, after they give chase, for these enemies to then path back to their original spawn point. This is something that I noticed in World of Warcraft, is that enemies will, once they give chase, you can kite them, so to speak, quote unquote. And if you do not engage said enemy, they will eventually disengage and run back to their original spawn point, or their within a radius of their spawn point, their wander zone, so to speak. And I wanted to have similar behavior because I don't want to be able to kite an enemy into another area. For instance, say for instance this is a level 30 enemy. I don't want to be able to kite this enemy into a level 1 newbie zone where it's a lot more dangerous. Naturally, you wouldn't want to have a mixed zone like that, but still, you have safe zones within a zone. You wouldn't want to pull that enemy into a safe zone. It's just not something that you would want as behavior in a game. So you want this enemy to be able to, after a certain distance, disengage and run back to their spawn point, or within a distance of their spawn point. And so I built that in, and I wanted to demo that behavior. So I'll show that real quick with this guy right here. And he's going to chase me and chase me and chase me and chase me, and then he disengages and runs on back. And we'll show that with a couple of them now. They run, and they go, oh, I'm too far away, and he runs on back. And this works also with, I can get them to chase me up here. This works, it's supposed to work with collisions. Oh, good. I think it was thinking there for a second. So I wanted to show that real quick and show how that behavior can work. Again, this is still work in progress, so you can see there are some minor bugs, but there are a lot of things that have been figured out and have been built in, which I'm pleased to say. It's getting the vast majority of this stuff built in and figured out is important. Getting the bugs and the kinks worked out is always something that you do along the way, and I'm not too worried about that. But yeah, so that is about how you do it. And to explain how it's done, someone said that I'm not explaining how these things are done well enough. Effectively, each enemy you detect a radius for coming into a person coming into the radius. If I collide within said radius, you set an aggro state and begin the chase. And you also have a radius for which the enemy can be away from their spawn point. If they get too far away from the radius of that spawn point, they then disengage from said enemy and run on back to said spawn point, creating a path. They start pathing back to their spawn point. And that is effectively how it's done. It's not all that different from finding a path to the player, except they find a path back to the spawn point. And then once they get back to their spawn point, or once they disengage from the player, they become non-aggro, path back to the spawn point, and then begin the wander behavior all over again. It's actually fairly simple, which is why I was able to get it up literally overnight. But I wanted to show that behavior really quickly and get a video up explaining this too. Again, please play with the Akihabara framework. I think you'll enjoy it as much as I have, playing around with it, experimenting with it, and sending your suggestions in it. You can build onto it, you can add on to it. There's a lot to be done with it. What I'm doing is just one tiny little experiment that I'm doing with it. There is a ton you can do with it. I think if you look over a lot of the libraries and a lot of the, well, not a lot of the libraries, but a lot of the games that people are building with it, you can see there's a lot more that can be done. So please visit the Akihabara webpage and play around with the libraries and check it out today. And keep checking out my blog and the videos, and I'll keep posting and let you know how I progress with this. Thanks. Take care.